Now, wouldn't you like to see that, folks? A 14-foot duck. For those who live around Sydney Harbour, they kind of did. Click on the video and you'll get to see the duck, the article itself that that's linked to. Other than that, enjoy the show. Hey guys, I'm Leeway Previs. Welcome to the Madness Ride. And of course our first story was the duck that you saw earlier. Our second article, 37-year-old backpacker by the name of Lena discovered that her, what she thought was gastro actually turned out to be what is now her baby daughter. Now, Bethany was staying at a backpacker's in Sydney when she started getting stomach pains. Now, she originally put it down to gastroenteritis, but then ended up being sent to hospital where she gave birth to her little daughter, Bethany. And in case you're wondering, Mum and Bob are fine. So, congratulations to you. Alright, the next article, guys, is one that is completely stupid, and a few other things as well. Leisha Haley, who was one of the stars on The L Word, was kicked off a Southwest flight in America by staff when they saw her kissing her girlfriend. And I don't just mean a peck on the cheek type thing, I mean lip lock. Alright? After she was kicked off the flight, Leisha immediately went on to Twitter and said, and I will quote this here, I've been discriminated against. Since when is showing affection to someone you love illegal? And unfortunately, it's not the first time Southwest Airlines has actually been under the pump. Earlier this month, Billy Joe Armstrong was kicked off the flight for having his pants around his plumber's crack. And last year, they also kicked Kevin Smith off a flight when they deemed him a little too big. So, it kind of makes you wonder, what the hell is going on at this airline? I mean, they've been they've done some pretty stupid stuff. Alright? And it's this type of negative publicity that's gonna get them shut down, because no one would want to fly on a plane that discriminates against them. Alright? Okay, yes, Billy Joe Armstrong, alright, maybe he could have had his pants a little bit higher, but that's my personal thought. But at the same time, Kevin Smith? Alright? That type of thing's pretty idiotic. Alright? And this, it just borders on homophobia. So, yeah. I'm just kind of glad that this type of airline doesn't exist in Australia, or otherwise, yeah, there'd be problems abound. Okay, our last article is one that's actually been under my radar for the past week and a bit, and it has a lot to do with the Chinese reality TV show Supergirl, which I suppose you could kind of call as China's answer to the Pop Idol series, or the X Factor, or even a show that was actually fairly popular in Australia and New Zealand, Pop Stars. Right? And yeah, this show was actually pretty popular until someone at the State Administration of Radio, Film and Television said, get rid of it. Now, the official reason behind this is because it broke official time limits. Alright, the show is supposed to last no longer than 90 minutes. However, it has been known to, well, double that. Alright? But there's a lot of people who are thinking, well, maybe there's a bit more to this story than we would like to think. Especially along the lines of its popularity, which it's possible that it could have been seen as poisoning China's youth, because it's a Western influence thing, and it's so popular, and it promotes a single person winning and that type of stuff, and all this bull that seems to populate communist Chinese thought. And note that I said communist Chinese thought, not Chinese thought. Alright? Because not all Chinese are communists. Same way not all communists are Chinese, but you get a picture. Alright? And indeed, there's actually been someone that said in China, believe it or not, that it went completely against the grain of what is considered part of the Chinese moral. Alright? Which, of course, works off communist moral. That everyone is equal, all that nonsense. Alright? And as we all know, most of the communist countries, while they implement this, the Marxist thought, they have a tendency to blow it out of proportion. So much so that you're kind of kept in a very tight lane. Alright? And Marxism Marxism that's implemented is very extreme. It's limiting, it's claustrophobic, it's a lot of things. And yeah, there's a lot of people who don't really appreciate it, both within and without China. And indeed, I've actually talked about a few of the errors that the Chinese have actually done in past shows on both Men and the Madness Ride. So yeah, basically enough said there. There's a lot of people who think that, there's a few communist people who think that the show was very Western and un-Chinese, but we'll never really know the truth, in all honesty. Okay, so I'm not going to actually have a question for this episode, so I'll actually see everyone on Friday for Vent, and until then, I'm Leeway Pros. I'll see you guys soon.